Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of the Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel. So, just watched Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. The film was fun. It was pretty much what I expected. It really expounded upon the first film. It's really a direct connection to the first film, and so it's a continuation of the events of that film, but you get to see more exploration into the world of Ready or Not. There was some things that I liked about the film, some things I didn't like about the film, but overall, I thought the film was a fun time in theater. Ready or Not is a film that where you go into it, you're not supposed to take it super seriously. So if you go in with that mindset, you'll have a good time. And I think it checks the boxes for a film that is entertaining. So we have the cast of Samara Weaving in this film. She's back, obviously, as the character of Grace. And you do have a new addition, her sister, played by Catherine Newton, Faith. Sarah Michelle Gellar is in this film, right? She's Ursula Danforth. Her brother, played by Sean Hatasi, Titus Danforth. Elijah Wood is the lawyer within this film. And then you have a bunch of great supporting characters as well, and actors, and people that you've seen in other films before. So familiar faces, but new to the story of Ready or Not. Spoiler-free review here. As I said, the film does expound upon certain ideas and characteristics of the first film, but doesn't really bring in any development for the new characters that are within the film. I'd say the cast has about 10 to 11 people that are within the film, and they play different roles within the film. Some are more important than others, right? But I think because the cast is so, I guess you could say, vast for this film, a film that doesn't have too much depth, but vast for this film, they don't have time to explore the backgrounds of every character. So the development is pretty much not there, but they kind of give you a snapshot of who these people are and what the deal is. I thought the film was a little more dark than the first film, but not as centralized for the plot. So there's things that I like about the film compared to the first one, and things that I don't like about the film compared to the first one. Overall, I did give it the same score as the first one, I believe, when I did watch Ready or Not 1. And when I did watch Ready or Not, I didn't watch it in theater. I watched it at home, and when I finally did watch it, I did think it was a pretty cool wildcard film to watch. I had a good time with the first Ready or Not. But I did feel it was more centralized on the plot of Samara Weaving's character, Grace, and the family that was hunting her down, where, like I said, in this film, you have a multitude of characters hunting down Grace's character. So it's not as centralized, more widespread. The film definitely ups the ante on violence, I'd say, and dark tonality. Compared to the first film, you had scenes where you did have some pretty violent kills and even certain things like injuries that occurred to the main character, Grace, that were pretty hard to look at on screen. But this one, I think, is a little different. You do have scenes like that with Grace's character, but now that the sister has been incorporated into the story, you see some of the damage that she takes along the way. Obviously, with these Ready or Not films, you're going to have some funny parts. Obviously, that's how they try to keep it balanced, right? They do have some violent scenes, but they also have some comedy in there as well, and that's something that I do like about the film, and I feel like that was well placed throughout the film. But overall, if you've seen the first Ready or Not and then you've seen this one, you know this one is a little bit more edgy. There were a couple twists in the third act that I did like, which added to the film, I believe, rather than it being so straightforward, that I did like. And also, you could say that there were some loopholes that they covered within the story as well that they showed on screen that were, to me, a point of discussion if you're watching it with a group of people, or even just thinking back to yourself, like, okay, how did that work? How did that work? So I thought that was interesting and intricate as well. The acting was cool and believable for what it was in the film overall. Definitely not bad. They made it believable, like I said, for the particular film that it is. There wasn't too many weak points in the film, and not many times within the film could I say you could have took that out, and then cut out 20 to 30 minutes of the film. I do believe there was probably about 10 minutes worth of scenes of dialogue between Samara Weaving's character and her sister that maybe you could have cut down, maybe shortened up the beginning of the film and gotten to the action quick, but it really wasn't a slow burn film. It pretty much got into the action and got right into the story with a couple flashbacks to let everybody know what happened in the first film. So overall, I do think Ready or Not 2, Here I Come was a fun film, entertaining film, a film that you should watch in theater. I give it a 7 out of 10, pretty much the same score I gave the first Ready or Not. And to me, this is kind of like a film like Smile when it comes comes to my grading range, because with Smile 1 and 2, I like them both for different reasons, but I gave them both the same score. So I feel like this is a solid 7 flick. I think it's worth watching in theater, especially if you like the first film, and I'm recommending it. So ladies and gents, that's been a quick review. No real spoilers, just kind of giving you an outline of Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. And so if you watch the film this weekend, please let me know what you thought about it. Also, subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video, and be safe. It's Neff signing off.